Hi, it's Amy Powers here with a process video for Craft Roulette, episode 267. This week's parameters are 4-bar card, craft store colors, sewing, and use a stencil. So when I saw the element sewing, I knew exactly what I wanted to do. I really love this die set from the Greetery. It's actually a stamp and die set because all of these details here that you see are actually a stamp. So that this is just such a really wonderful set, and I haven't had much of a chance to use it. So it's a lot of details. But that's why I love it. It's just a little fiddly, it can be. But they did a couple of things to make it so that it was easier to do. Okay, so let me show you. One of those things is that this whole piece is the base layer. So all these details, like this little part, are all one piece, and then you put this layer over it. Do you see how much easier that is than to have all these little parts that attach to this? So you can choose whatever metallic card you want to put this base layer on, and then you attach this over it. But before you do that, you stamp the details on this part. And I've cut out a few of those for a couple of reasons. One, so that it has a nice I don't know, it just feels more substantial, but also now I have at least 3 chances to get that stamping right. And this small part here, this goes on this layer here, even that has a stamp that goes on it, which is pretty crazy. That's the smallest thing I think that I've ever stamped. So to get started, I heat emboss the decorations onto the sewing machine. This stamp is all one piece, which makes it pretty easy to place. After I stamp with embossing ink, I apply the gold embossing powder and then heat. Isn't it magical to watch the embossing powder melt? As they say, it's the gateway stamping technique. Next, I heat emboss a tiny sentiment. So lovely. And next I'm going to stamp this tiny little detail, and to do this I'm going to place it back into the negative that was cut out when I die cut. And this will just make it easier to stamp something so small, and I'm just stamping it with VersaFine Onyx Black. Next I'll glue these 2 die cuts together. and then glue that to the base. Now I have to decide, do I want this shiny gold or this mercury glass silver? In the end I chose the silver, but gold would be nice too. I chose the silver because I think it's silver on a real machine. I previously glued the thread onto the spool to keep from losing it, and I'll glue that into place. Next, I check the reference image for placement for the loopy thread piece, and I realized that I forgot this circle detail. And now I can place and glue the thread. And now I glue the rest of it together. This part here has 2 more layers to glue on, including the tiny piece that we stamped. I cut out 2 choices for the fabric, but I think I'll wait to see how it looks on the background to choose. Now let's set that aside and tackle stenciling. I'm stenciling onto a piece of patterned paper from Stamperia. And this is actually the reverse of the pad's cover, and I think that's a really nice way to stretch the paper pad's use. To stencil, I'm using Sizzix's Stamp and Stencil tool. This stencil is from Eileen Hall. Sizzix stencil sets have these circles that lock the stencil into place. I'm using Distress Oxide in the color Faded Jeans to stencil the stitches. And a brand new brush, yay! And I'll use tumbled glass for this layer. Same brush because that's how I do. I think this calico fabric will work better. About 4-bar. I have these envelopes that are for 4-bar cards, except the envelopes are exactly 3.5 by 5 inches. So my card base needs to be smaller in order to fit. So I cut a card base that was 4 3/4 by 6 3/4, and I folded it in half for a small enough card to fit into the envelopes that I have. A little reverse engineering for you. And that, folks, is this week's card. I will see you over at CraftRoulette.live. And if you haven't seen it yet, you're missing out. Hey, if you like this project and want to see more like it, let me know by giving me a thumbs up, subscribing, and leaving a comment. Take care.